What's up, guys? Welcome to my little trade recap. I can't believe I'm streaming. But whatever, I'm so bored. I just might as well. Ain't like I got better shit to do. Yeah, I just can't believe we're doing this. I guess welcome to the trade. I just wanted to go over prices. What this week's price really was. I thought it was a really good way to explain how this all worked, and I think it gave me a better understanding, and I just wanted to share my understanding with people, I guess, because this really helped me out a lot. Just setting this up right now just makes it just looks like it I know what I'm doing. I mean, not even I know what I'm doing, but it just looks like, you know, it looks nice. And it's simple too. It's not like it's complicated. It's really simple. Little trade recap. um Little trade recap. I think what really needs to go into the picture is how I got this type of information. I mean, I wouldn't even say type of information, but how I even got to this, this type of trade. Because overall, this was I mean, it wasn't I was mastering this trade back to back to back, but it does suck because I never get good trades. I used to get good trades, but I don't get them anymore. I've been struggling to become profitable. I took a trade today and I lost $1,000 on my funded account, which sucks. But I guess sometimes you have to go through the hard times to understand the good times. Anyways, I guess what I wanted to show you guys is how I got this. So to kind of reel it in, we're on the 1 hour right now. If we go to the daily, it doesn't look super clean, but what ended up happening was, I'm just talking about this week's trade, not the daily. But what ended up happening was we this is last week's. So for Monday we had a bank holiday, so there wasn't really going to be much much of a move. But what ended up happening was we started forming a broadening formation, and all I did was take this high to this high, and then it broke structure right here. And if that's one thing I've learned, is whatever trend it's going towards. So look, we had a break of structure right here, or a change in the state of delivery right here, well, with this order block, because we had a close below. And if we go to the daily, you can notice that price respected the 50% threshold. So it ended up going lower. It's not really too perfect, like you can tell, but it's whatever. It doesn't need to be perfect. So anyways, what happened was created a broadening formation on Monday. Created a broadening formation on Monday, and then Tuesday we had the manipulation. on the Monday. So break instruction to the upside, manipulation, went distributed down, retraced, back into a fair value gap, distributed down again, break a structure, breaking the structure, creating a 1 hour order block, went and retraced back into that fair value gap, respected the fair value gap, and tapped into the order block, went lower, same thing, distributed, retraced, went back into a 1 hour order block, went back down, come back up into here. We have an inverse fair value gap, goes lower, distributes down, creates an order block right here and right here, because that's to change the state of delivery. And we end up going farther down and taking profit. But what's really hard to understand is that I don't just look at the hour, and I just like look at what's happening. And I think that's really something we need to be doing, because look, we're in an uptrend, we consolidate, manipulate, go higher, manipulate again, go higher, manipulate again, go higher, manipulate, go higher. And I think it's all just part of the understanding of how price is working. I mean, even right here, like, we have another order block that taps in and goes lower. But because we're in that broadening formation, like I said, we had to break a structure. We had a move to the outside that didn't wick and ended up closing below this low right here, giving me bearish signal. We retrace back into this fair value gap, go lower. These two fair value gaps become my point of interest. As you guys can see, we don't reach into this fair value gap, so we don't even really need this. But we reach into this fair value gap and tap into this order block and go lower. And in reality, I think this is like really easy looking at it like this, but what sucks is that it's hard to just play this like all in one. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to just figure out, oh yeah, that's what I want to do, or oh yeah, that's like, you know, that's the trade I see. Let's do that trade. Yeah, but no, I didn't get to see that opportunity for that trade. Anyways, tap out of this. I'll show you guys what could be going through my mind during these moments and why we had something like that. So let's just go to the daily. So as you see, we respect this order block right here because it goes into a fair value gap, displaces higher, retraces, goes back into the fair value gap, used as an order block to go higher. Now, as you guys can see, we are in a consolidation range. We can't break this high or this low. So what happens? It gets higher. Can't break this high, can't break this low. So now, as you guys can see, because we can't break any of this, my eyes go to this low as being my draw on liquidity, or the 50% threshold of this wick, because wicks can be used as order blocks, but it's harder to determine where price is going most of the time. But I like using this as a wick, or using this because, like I said, it went and used this as the 50%. We could use this 50% of the 50% of the threshold of this order block to determine where price is going. So anyways, back to what I was saying. We're looking at something like this, right? On the 1 hour, what does this mark up? Or sorry, yeah, on the 1 hour, where does the 50% of it mark up? With an order block or the change the state of delivery, because we have a swing high or high, low, higher, high, lower, low. Could be a breaker block, but what ends up happening is it creates an order block because we displace aggressively to the downside, and we use that order block as support to displace even lower. So I traded on this day. It's not even a Monday. we get closer to Monday. But I traded on this day, and right here I was looking bullish because I usually trade the 8:30 or the 6:30 for my Western Coast type of people. I was looking for price to go into here to go lower. But in that case, this Thursday, this is just part of the day. We end up going all the way back up here on Friday. So Thursday was consolidation. Friday, we had a little bit of manipulation right here, or a tap into the fair value gap to go higher. Now that we tap into this 50% threshold, or it doesn't look like the order block is working. So my eyes no longer look at this because the order block, like I said, it disrespected the 50%. If I can even disrespected, see, went higher. So I could see that being used as an inverse order block. So what ends up happening is that's literally what it happens. It becomes an inverse order block. Comes back lower. I mean, it doesn't need to be used as a inverse order block, but what ends up happening is I see a broadening formation because we start to consolidate. So I start making a broadening formation, and what ends up happening is, we have this order block. I don't want to make these lines too crazy. I'm just going to make them a different color. I think honestly I'm going to make them like 1, just so it looks a little bit cleaner. But what ends up happening is we start to consolidate in this range, and my eyes, all I want to see right now is a break of structure on this side because we're displacing, because like I said, we had a displacement below this low, making my bias bearish. Excuse me. Making my bias bearish, and we go up. So all I'm looking for is a break of structure, not a wick, not any of that. I want to break a structure. So we end up putting in this high right here. We don't end up taking this yet, but we can be using this as an ideal, spot. Then, we're still consolidating. There is our break of structure right here. Right here. It's not a huge break of structure, but it's a break of structure. We can even tell just by looking at this. What happens? It closes above the threshold of this consolidation, manipulation, distribution. So now that it closed above my broadening formation, and it closed above this, and it tapped into a order block, and if we go to the daily, we can even see, like I said, whether or not it's respecting, and it ends up respecting. Anyways, go back a day. So now that we respecting, let's go back to here. So now that we're respecting this order block and we have our displacement lower, I wanted to see if we close below this low. Because if we close below this low, then we know we're still bearish, and the rest of the day it's going to be bearish, or the rest of this week's going to be bearish, because we had our move up, and then I don't know if you guys ever used the weekly candle, but sometimes it can be used as a pretty good confluence to understand where price is going. So like I said, wait, hold up. Let's get to, so like I said, we get our move to the upside, right? We get open high, low close, go up more. Like I said, the manipulation. So now we can be expecting price to go even lower, because wherever price is usually starting with the weekly candle, if it's open high, low close, and then or if it's low close, open high, then it's going to be the opposite. It's just the opposite for whatever it is. But anyways, we get a close below this. So then my eyes drop to this fair value gap. Now, yes, I could have been looking for a distribution to the upside using this as manipulation, then looking for something like this to go higher. But like I said, it's going to go up here, and now we're going to see this low get taken. Like that. We're going to see this low get taken and possibly go higher. Or not higher, but go back into this, and then. So we didn't really get to hit the 50% of the threshold yet, the fair value gap. So I'm still waiting for price to hit this low. And there we go. We hit this low. Now my eyes drop to, oh, we're going to be bullish. So now my eyes drop to here, this high, and the inside this fair value gap. It's exactly what we end up doing. We end up barely not having an aggressive like displacement above, and we end up actually displacing back down. So now that we're kind of have our confluence, we had a candle go into a fair value gap. My eyes dropped to this. Now I want to see if this is going any lower, because if it's going lower, then we know price is going to go to the downside. And there we go. We get displacement pretty aggressive. Now I want to see if we continue going lower. And if you guys, I don't know if you guys seen this, but there is a fair value gap right here. We end up using that as support to go lower. We get a break of structure right here. So, and we also use this order block right here, a mitigation block, to go lower. Now we have a fair value gap right here, which also gets used. So now we go lower. So we could now see either this being respected, or this going up into here to go lower, or this to go up into here to go lower. But we really don't want to see this high being taken if our bias is right. Goes back into this fair value gap and respects this order block. Get instant, not too crazy displacement down. Displace somewhat down. We get a sweep over this high, because it's another thing we kind of like looking at, the sweeps. If we get a sweep over a high, then we usually know it's going to go lower. There it goes. Goes lower. And I don't know if you guys see this, but this is also an idea of where price is going. So usually a lot of people look at like the wicks, but really the candles are going to be your idea of where price is going. So I honestly could have taken a short position on like some type of swing trade, had my stop above this high, and I could have been targeting this low all the way down here. So there we go. We get our tap right here. We continue to go down. And I don't know if you guys see this, but look what happens. Another order block, because we displaced down, and it's inside a fair value gap. But instead of retracing, we end up just continuing to go down. Oh, we get a little displacement up. Tap into this fair value gap. Notice how it's not respecting the order block and the fair value gap. It's making sure that we're not going any higher, and that we're respecting the fair value gap to go even lower. And look at that. We get displacement below this low. Uses that as an order block or an entry. And we end up hitting our TP. And then now we're at Friday. So let's see if we can find anything else. It looks like there's a little inverse right here, or right here. Honestly, right here. It's a little inverse right here, so we could even go lower to this low. Which we end up hitting. And now we are right here. But this was pretty much our week's trade. What really sucked though is that we hit our 3K profit, like I said, not with some perfect analysis like this, but a good idea of what our analysis was looking like. Right here, I don't know if you guys saw, but there is a order block entry right here. For some freaking reason, I wasn't looking at that, and I was looking at this. So today I woke up at 5:30. And I know most of you guys are like, 5:30, like that's insane. Yeah, I know. It's pretty insane. But you got to be really committed to this, I'm telling you. But we had consolidation, manipulation, and then our distribution down. What really sucks though is that I wasn't, like I said, I guess my head wasn't in the game. I was pretty tired. But because I saw such displacement to the upside, I wasn't even looking over here at the consolidation side. So we probably got to like right here, and I need apparently another 2K to finish my funded account before going up. I thought we were going to be bullish, so I thought we were going to do something like this. I don't know why. I thought we were going to, like I said, I thought we were going to hit our daily order block. But again, on the hourly, everything looks a little bit better. So I think the hourly is really what we're looking at. We did learn a lot off this stream. But yeah, that's pretty much our trade recap and what we could have been looking for in our trades. It does suck though, not seeing that we could have taken these trades and that we ended up missing these trades. But you know, if it's all part of the learning part, then you know, I'll take that over anything. But yeah, that's pretty much my trade recap. It's kind of like what I wanted to show you guys, what my idea of what the recap was. Anyways, thanks for watching. I guess I'm not gonna really cut anything. I'm just gonna like just post this too. But yeah, thank you for